Okay, everybody, can you record? Is there anybody that can't record? Please let me know. Please go on mute if you are not asking a question, and go ahead and put your questions. If you have a question, go ahead and put them in the chat now, and I'll call upon you in the order they come in the queue. And then also, for those of you who haven't been on this call before, if you can keep it to a single question on the first round, and we'll entertain follow-ups after that. Okay, we're here in big game week with Traverse Family head football coach Justin Wilcox for his media availability. We'll get started with Jeff Ferrado. Go ahead, Jeff.
Justin, can you just talk about the mood on your team following your first win in a while and now getting to head into to the big game?
Well, as you can imagine, it was much improved from the last few weeks. They've always practiced hard, but certainly after the game and the energy showing up in the morning is noticeable. So excited to build off of that. But we got a lot of work to do this week as we get ready for really challenging opponent this weekend in Stanford.
Okay, other opening round questions, let me know in the chat. We'll go to Thomas Dunn from Wright for California.
Good morning, Justin. You've seen it all in the big game in your tenure here as Cal head coach. What is your understanding of the significance of the big game for the Cal community?
I don't know if we have enough time to maybe give it its due. 126 times the teams have lined up and played each other. So much history between the two institutions, the game, the acts, the people that have played in this game, how much it means to the communities, the alumni, the student body. It's one of the greatest rivalries in college athletics, and it's humbling and to be a part of it. Our team is going to be aware of the history of it, and the more times you get to be involved with it, and then maybe the older you get, you can appreciate it even more and more. So it's an honor and it's humbling, but what's most important is that we practice really well so we can give ourselves the best chance to play good football this weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll go to Ben Parker from Stanford Rivals.
Hi, Justin. I know you're a defensive-oriented guy. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on Stanford's defensive coordinator, Bobby April, and the defense that he has developed at Stanford so far. Just kind of what your thoughts on that and him as a coordinator and just the scheme he's brought.
Yeah, he's a really good coach. I don't know him, but I know we have, we both worked at Wisconsin and with Jim Leonard. So there's some kind of like a lot of folks in coaching, you're usually 1 degree of separation. He's a really good coach. They're doing a great job on defense. You kind of there's a lot of variables with the fronts and the coverages and the simulated pressures and the different zones they play. So he does a really good job. Obviously, also know Coach Gregory, who I played for and have so much respect for. I know Coach Taylor, Troy Taylor, known him a long time, a lot of respect for him, and he's a great coach. And so I know they have a very talented staff. They're really well coached, and looking forward to the matchup.
Okay, we'll go to Jake Curtis from Cal Sports Report.
How would you describe Stanford's offense, and are you sure you know who their quarterback is going to be?
Well, we go off the tape, Jake, and I don't know that anybody knows until the game starts other than them. And so there's a lot of variety in that offense. Troy's an excellent coach. They're going to give you different personnel groupings, different formations. They run a really good scheme. So, we'll use the tape to prepare the best we can, also knowing that there's going to be some things that we haven't seen on tape, likely, that we'll have to adjust to. And, regardless of who plays, they have different options at quarterback, and depending on who's healthy, same thing at tailback. They got some talented wideouts. Ellick is a really good player. Tiger Bachmeyer and Bryce are really fast. They're always big and physical up front. So we know there's going to be a challenge, and there's going to be a variety and probably some new things we'll need to adjust to during the game.
And we'll go to Jim McGill from Bear Insider.
Just Cade Uwale's performance on Saturday was just amazing with what he was able to accomplish with the forced fumbles, the scoop and score, interception, and everything. Have you seen performances like that out of young guys very often in your career?
It'd be hard. It's a good question. It was a great performance by him. Let's see here. Yes. There's some performances in past years where a freshman has had maybe a big games or big plays, but you don't see him all that often. I mean, he's a really good football player. The first fourth down stop, taking the ball away and then just scooping it up. You can just tell that he's a football player, but that's his instinct, is to pull the ball out of the quarterback's hands, then get on your feet, scoop it up and run it in for a touchdown. There's some coaching in that. And then there's a lot of, that's Cade being a football player, and he's still learning a lot. And he's going to continue to learn the more he plays. So he's not perfect, but boy, is he around the ball. And I think just in the last few weeks, the more and more he's played, you see just his instincts for the game show up, and his kind of a quickness and explosiveness, and really excited about him. He's doing a great job.
Okay, we'll go to Manuel Macedo from the Daily Cal.
Good morning, Coach. Looking at the stats in front of me, the Stanford defense has allowed over 120 rushing, over 300 passing. What does the offense need to do to get jump started in this game?
Yeah. Well, we know it's going to be a challenge. They do a good job, again, with mixing up their fronts and coverages. They got some really good players over there. Edge rush, David Bailey and two backers, Sinclair and Zero are talented guys. So we'll need to stay on schedule. Obviously we want to run the ball efficiently. That's going to be a key every week, is to be efficient running the ball and avoid the negative plays. Obviously the negative yardage plays, but certainly the turnovers. Turnovers have been an issue for us. I think we all know that. So eliminating those, we want to do our best to have great ball security, not give the ball to the other team, especially in our territory. So we've got to do a better job protecting the football and staying on schedule. And if we do that, we think we can do some things, but they have a talented defense, so they're not going to give it to us. We're going to have to go out and earn it.
Anybody else with an opening round question for Coach? Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrato.
Justin, we've talked a lot all season about your need to get more pressure on the quarterback, and you guys really did that last week with 6 sacks. And I'm wondering, was that guys just playing better, or did you tweak some stuff, or a combination, or how did that come about?
Not a lot of tweaks, Jeff. I mean, again, we had some max drop, we had some 4-man rush, we had some 5- and 6-man rush. So we had all the above. The plays that we got pressure on the quarterback or sacked him, the sacks were, if I remember right, were all 4-man or even 4-man rushes. David Reese, obviously, 2 really good rushes and sack fumbles. Another one where he's hustling to the ball. Nate Burrell had a 1-on-1 win versus a slide. And so, I think KJ had one chasing him down on secondary contain. So things that nothing really, I guess, unique. I mean, we change calls up like we always try to do and try to game plan the best we can for what their offense is doing. But guys were much more effective in terms of the 1-on-1 wins and then getting the quarterback on the ground. And honestly, we had a couple more that we would have liked to finish. We had a couple more opportunities to finish him onto the ground last week. Didn't quite do that. So we got to take advantage of those when we get them.
You have concerns about Stanford's quarterbacks being fairly mobile and how it's maybe a slightly different approach to those guys?
Well, anytime the quarterback's more mobile, they're harder to tackle. I mean, that's just kind of the way it works, Jeff. But we've got to be able to defend all types of quarterbacks. And if you want to play good defense, you're going to have to defend mobile quarterbacks. And whether that's the guys up front getting off a block, whether it's winning on a pass rush, whether it's secondary contain. And then once you get there, to be able to finish the quarterback and get him on the ground. And, again, like I said, we did a good job of that at times last week. And again, had the sack fumbles, which were huge. But also a couple of times where we could have finished the quarterback to the ground and ended up with even maybe 8 or 9 sacks. So we're looking to I don't know if you're going to have the opportunity to get that many every week. We also played, 97 snaps last week. I don't know if we'll play that many this week, maybe not. But I think it's all executing and then finishing on the quarterback when you have the chance.
And can you give us an injury update, and specifically, is Isaiah Fonse, is he ready to go? And is Sam Jackson available to be your number 2 quarterback, or is he still out?
Sam will be out this week. Isaiah Fonse is kind of day-to-day at this point, so we'll see where it goes. He's a tough kid, and if he's not able to go, then there'll be some other guys that will be called upon. And
Javion Thomas is still out?
Yes, Javion Thomas is still out.
Will he play again this year?
That would be kind of a week-to-week situation between him and the sports med staff. He's back at practice. He's around. He's going to class and doing really well. So we're just glad to have him back and with the team right now.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Rockford, California.
Justin, in your experience both as a coordinator and head coach, do you allow your team to have a bigger chip on their shoulder when it comes to rivalry games, or do you like to corral and make sure that it's just another game when it comes to, for example, Cal versus Stanford this week?
Well, Thomas, the goal is that each and every week you have a process to prepare to play at your absolute best, because you only get so many chances. The amount of time you put into football in the off season, in meetings, in practice, relative to the number of times you get to compete is really pretty amazing ratio compared to other sports. And so we want to maximize each and every week when we get the chance to play. I also want them to appreciate the rivalry. And I think it's okay to talk about it and the importance, the history, the acts, all that goes into it, because they're a part of this rivalry. And I want them to appreciate the significance and how much it means to everybody and how special that really is. So we do both, but in terms of practice and meetings and our preparation, really nothing changes because we want to do our best each and every week.
All right, thank you.
Then we'll go back to Ben Parker with Stanford Rivals.
Hey, you guys have a Cardinal turned Bear on your team, and Barrett Miller. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what he's kind of brought to your program this year.
Yeah, man, really been an honor to have Barrett with us. He's a very, very smart, tough, dependable guy. Been great having him on the team. He's not the most vocal guy in the world, but he is, when he does speak up, man, people pay attention. He's a really, really smart guy. I enjoy visiting with him, and he's been here just a short time, but really fit in well. The guys on the team have a lot of respect for him by how he goes about his business. And I wish we just had him for longer.
Okay, we'll go to Jim McGill, Bear Insider.
Yeah, one guy that was not asked about was Caleb. He went out in the second half. Caleb Ealer-Thor, is he ready to go this week?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to Jeff Ferrato.
Justin, you obviously need to win 2 more to become bowl eligible. Does it help that you've got the big game with all the focus and the focal point that this is, that it prevents your players from thinking about winning twice just to focus on the one game?
Well, I don't know about that. We know what the goal is, but the opportunity to play in the big game against Stanford and the chance to go 1-0 this week, should be enough motivation for all of us. And I certainly think I could speak for the guys, and I think they would all agree. Having the opportunity to play in this game, as I mentioned before, you only get so many chances. There's only how many times you get to play in the big game. So there is a goal, and it's okay to talk about that. But the only way to finish the season 2-0 is go 1-0 this week. So we gotta practice really well. We got to put our time in, and we got to get ready to play, because they're going to be ready to play, and it's going to take good football to win.
I think what I meant was that if you were playing just some random team, there might be a temptation to look at 2 weeks versus this week. You have to win twice, but this week is going to have all your attention because of the game it is, right?
Yeah, but I would say that I think, regardless, the guys on our team have always come out and prepared kind of 1 week at a time. I never get the sense that they're looking down the road. I just have never been a concern for us.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.